We have covered a wide range of murder investigations here on NewsNation Prime. We've interviewed friends and we've talked to families, many of whom desperately want answers, and they are fighting for justice after losing their loved ones to what they call a senseless crime. But then there are those who have been sentenced to prison, their families often tormented with the excruciating question, is their loved one truly guilty or are they innocent, wrongfully convicted, serving unjust time behind bars?
Who's the real Patrick?
Patrick is fun-loving. He's funny, he's goofy.
Later, he married Deborah. What was their marriage like?
Deborah was probably the one with the temper. She was jealous of us. He used to tell me about it all the time.
We know that she was going through some sort of psychotic episode around this time. There was a lot of stress. She had called the doctor to go see a psychiatrist. So has it ever crossed your mind, if he did do it, it had to be this snap of rage that wasn't even him?
No, he would walk away first.
Yeah, he has too much to lose.
Rodney Patrick McNeal was sentenced to life for murdering his pregnant wife in a fit of rage. But McNeal's family, who you're hearing from there, is convinced that he is innocent. This case is featured in the season 5 premiere of Reasonable Doubt, which airs tonight on Investigation Discovery at 10/9 Central. And Sergeant Chris Anderson is a retired homicide detective for the city of Birmingham's police department. He's also co-host of the show. Chris, thank you so much for being here. Let's first start off by the case that you all are featuring tonight. What more can you share about this former probation officer serving time behind bars for murdering his wife?
Well, Rodney Patrick McNeal was like you said, a former law enforcement officer who was convicted of murdering his pregnant wife. And there are serious questions that come about when you talk about this case, because on one hand, their relationship was very tumultuous. It was very volatile. So, and Rodney seemed like the most viable suspect at the time of the conviction. But once you peel back the layers of his conviction and the arrest and also the investigation, there are serious questions that still remain today that my partner and myself, look into, and we bring back our answers to the family.
And ultimately, at the end of the program, you learn whether or not the truth led you to what happened in court or if it's something else. You guys are now in your 5th season. So how many cases to date have you helped overturn or at least raise enough questions that those involved are taking a closer look at the evidence?
So, as of right now, I think we are at about 4 or 5 of the cases that have been overturned. But one thing about that we like to point out is that we help families every time we conduct an investigation, because either our investigations will lead to help freeing an innocent person, or it'll help lead to freeing a family of the questions that they had about their loved one's conviction.
Talk about the process, Chris, that you and your partner go through investigating the evidence, who you're talking to, how long it takes for you all, and how you select the cases that you cover.
Well, it's a very arduous process. Our team is full of former journalists or news anchors, and these are the people that are out identifying the cases that we're looking to for the season. That's part of the reason why the cases we investigate are so riveting. We don't want people to submit cases to us, because if they submit those cases directly to us, we want to make sure that there is no bias in any portion of our investigation. So we have them submit them to our team. They look at those cases. There's a very long process, and the team looks to pick those cases that upon the first look, there could be some reasonable doubt in that conviction.
And you have extensive law enforcement experience. So how do you apply your years in policing and investigating to the work that you're doing right now, specifically your role in all this?
Well, I've always considered myself to be a justice fighter. I believe in our criminal justice system. I believe that the majority of the time that it gets it right. But there are questionable cases, and we've seen some of those cases in the news media today. There is a number that most people will quote to you, that there's about 2 to 10% of the people that are sitting in prison, they're sitting there wrongfully. And that may not seem like a large number, but when you think about how many people that we put in prison as a country, that's a lot of innocent people. And if you're a cop, that's been in my position for the years that I've worked in investigations, you never want to see an innocent person in prison. So that's what brought me to reasonable doubt. And that's the reason why we continue this fight.
Yeah, seeking the truth, finding justice wherever it may be, and just one person wrongfully convicted serving time behind bars is one too many. Chris Anderson, appreciate your time tonight. The case tonight will be featured season 5 premiere of Reasonable Doubt on Investigation Discovery 10/9 Central. We'll be watching. Great to see you as always.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.